What is this?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Why do you have this? Because.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Hi.
Oh, there's people here.
Hi, everybody. Hey there, everybody.
Hey there.
We're out here on the homestead trying to give y'all a good brief with the intelligentsia so that you can survive the apocalypse. Oh my gosh. Is this a public live stream or a YouTube or Patreon? I think I said it's a public. It's whatevs.
I could verify
This
that.
intelligence brief is brought to you. Yeah, please do. Is brought to you by a bottle of Templeton rye that the Kilted Celt bequeathed unto me many moons ago. And I would just like to let y'all know that we are about to partake of this fine libation.
Got it,
Not
got it.
one more inch. Snake Doc Shalom. So we're gonna
Verified YouTube.
We're gonna do a little pouring, and then hey, it's the Stump family, PJD, Aname, all of our favorite peeps. The Canuck is here. Give me your glass.
Oh boy.
Glass. And then we're gonna get into we're gonna do the thing. Also, be advised, we're going to do the Bear Daily Brief, and then we are going to do Tactical Tuesday.
Oh yeah, you know what it is.
It's so tactical.
The
So
most
tactical. So, all right. Tactical homestead. Shalom brochaim. All right, here we go. Getting into the Bear brief. I didn't hit the button. Let's try this again. Got it. All right, so Bear Independent Intel Report, 24 March. This is, of course, available on Patreon. If you want the entirety of this report in copy-paste mode, yes, working on PDFs. I'm being supplied with PDFs by our Intel staff. However, I have bare thumbs. I have yet to actually type the word brief appropriately on the first try with these thumbs while doing this. And so doing the smartphone thing, the Patreon thing, it's happening. But the point is, this is on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com, look up Bear Independent, you'll find it there. All right, 2 or more eyewitness accounts, continuity of infrastructure. Again, many are continuing to receive essential business personnel, travel permissions, letters, placards, etc. to continue critical infrastructure operations and supply. Letters from railways, USPS, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, manufacturing, groceries, hospitals, oil and gas, and many, many more. All the things needed for infrastructure to remain functional are getting these letters. Breweries are also receiving these letters as they are considered essential. Well, I don't believe in coincidence. Cheers, brochaim.
Cheers.
Cheers. Essential. Believe me, grab them.
Hey man, if you need to drink alcohol and smoke weed so you don't die, that's cool.
Yeah.
You don't need firearms to protect your family when everybody's losing their
It's
mind.
fine. It's fine.
It's cool.
I don't smoke the weed, but I do drink the alcohol. No offense to all the, it's medicinal bear. Simmer down.
We
Everybody,
get it.
Everybody simmer. One letter from the CISA requests any courtesy that can be extended to provide fuel to the bearer of the letter. Supply chain and industry. More truckloads are moving, but there are delays in ocean freight. Many places have 14-day quarantine before offloading requirements, and air freight is drastically reduced. We reported on this yesterday. Non-essential supply chains are mostly paused for the moment, from manufacturing to transportation to sales. Legal and political. Many reports, this is a repeat, many reports of many different states seriously considering or already instituting essential services only travel restrictions, stay-at-home orders, shelter-in-place orders, or similar official proclamations. These states include California, New York, Illinois, right? That's how you pronounce that word?
Sure.
Illinois, Ohio, Connecticut, Oregon, got it. Louisiana, New Jersey, Indiana, Delaware, Michigan, Virginia, Wisconsin, Washington, Georgia, which applies to at-risk groups only, New Mexico, and West Virginia. Cities to include Philadelphia, St. Louis, Kansas City, New Orleans, Denver, and Boulder. Counties to include San Miguel, Colorado, Athens, Clarke, Georgia, Blaine, Idaho, Dallas, Harris, and Bexar, including the cities of San Antonio and Houston, Texas, Gainesville and Alachua, Florida, Mecklenburg, including Charlotte, North Carolina, and Springfield Green, Missouri. Maryland, Virginia, D.C., and other states are asking their residents to stay home. These requests are not orders, but most states have demonstrated that when not followed, requests do become offers, often by the urging of concerned citizens. So we've got that whole, hey, let's all spy on each other thing going on. More governors across the country are taking preventative measures, such as ordering all non-essential state employees to work from home or closing public buildings. Why do we have non-essential government employees? I mean, this is a recurring meme. This has been asked over and over again, but why do we have non-essential government employees? Just saying. Just saying.
They get paid more than the government employees.
I don't know. South Carolina, yesterday, as of 23 March, the governor issued an executive order directing all South Carolinian law enforcement officials to prohibit or disperse any congregation or gatherings of people in groups of 3 or more if authorities believe it possesses a threat to #bear thumbs, can't flip the page. Do you even dexterity, bro? Clearly not. 2. Got it. Nailed it. To public health. This order does not extend to homes or businesses. Columbia now has an 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew in place. Continuing reports of hearings delayed, small-time criminals not picked up or released, and smaller crimes seeing less police response. The $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus package was blocked by Democrats. The Washington Post said, quote, legislation would include direct payments of $1,200 to many American adults and $500 to children, and would create roughly $850 billion in loan and assistance programs for businesses, states, and cities. There would also be large spending increases for the unemployment insurance program, as well as hospitals and healthcare providers that are being overwhelmed by the crisis. Democrats were dissatisfied with worker protections, which were written by the Republicans, and said that the rules on corporate bailouts are too lax. During the rewritings, something that is being wrestled over is the U.S. digital dollar proposal, the creation of a digital dollar and digital dollar wallets. #nope. Not interested. Because, like, here's the thing. If we're going to do that, should we just go ahead and call it end times? Like, are we here now? Like, there's earthquakes everywhere, there's pestilence, there's famine, shortage of food, there's the shedding of innocent blood, which is an abomination. Like, we're here now. We're here now. Let's just all, like, take a mark or something, you know? Jeez. Or not. Or not. I'm going to go with not.
No.
Okay, good. We're tracking.
No.
This is a recurring issue, H.R. 5717, the Gun Violence Protection and Community Safety Act of 2020. In order to own a firearm, one must first demonstrate safe use with a firearm, which is, of course, a catch-22. The Missouri Department of Conservation is temporarily waiving fishing permit requirements for residents and non-residents alike whose fishing privileges have not otherwise been suspended. In short, you can go fishing without a license.
Oh, like it always should have been?
Well, I mean, listen, conservation and things. Effective March 2/7 through April 1/5, 27 March through 15 April, you can go fishing in the state of Missouri without a license. The West Virginia governor designated firearm and ammunition suppliers and retailers as essential, exempting them from being shut down during this state of emergency. I do want to point out one of the things that we saw earlier today, documentation that came in, was a permit that said for the coronavirus response, basically asking, I believe it was that fuel permit, asking for basically fuel donations to the bearer of the permit, and it was 15 March. So, like, what, 9 days ago?
Yeah.
Through 28 May. So, through 28 May. So, basically, into June, they're looking at right now. That's how that permitting process is going. Military. Accounts of abnormal military movement continues. Particularly, several mentions of large, unusual amounts of helicopters. Remember, unusual military movement is to be expected with many canceled drills, with canceled large international exercises, and with the activation of the National Guard in many states to aid in crisis response. Medical. Indiana DHS just released refusal to transport protocol to all Indiana EMS agencies to be used if demand exceeds ambulance fleet capacity. This has never been done before, meaning that there are more people to be transported than there are transportation modes, so that they can therefore refuse. This has never happened before. Societal in general, Ohio. Rehabilitation and long-term care staff issued travel documents. While there is no curfew in Ohio yet, the word on the document, however, does reference a curfew. So, once again, as we've been talking about, you don't issue permits for something unless you intend to restrict it and or control access to it. So there are now travel documents in Ohio coming out with the word curfew on them, even though there's not currently a curfew in place in Ohio. So if you are in Ohio, you might think about the fact that, or the chance that there is an impending curfew coming. How that affects you, I don't know. You got to get your double stuffed Oreos from the Dollar General before the curfew. Don't know what else to tell you. What else we got going on? Any residents leaving the building for treatment of the hospital must have paperwork with them. Trespassing and thefts are increasing. Rural areas are not excluded. Let's take a moment, just a moment, to talk about part of our day. Talking about being in a rural area. As you can see, it's ruralicious out here. And about 11:26 a.m., by my reckoning, my dog, which is a 110 to 120 pound Anatolian Pyrenees mix, and two of my three kids were out towards the end of our driveway, and some glorious a-hole in a dark gray Dodge with black utility body, probably a welder, we're not sure though, or farm truck, came speeding over a hill, hit my dog, almost hit my kids, realized what he had done, never touched the brakes, and took off. So, the repentant Yankee over here of Yankee Survival said, "Hey, T, what?
Get in the truck.
Get in the truck." And I was on the phone with a brother and a friend, and I said, "Gotta go." So we hopped in the truck. And he had a head start, so he lost us. But we did have the pleasure of getting pulled over by the local PD, who was like, "What in the hell are you doing?" And we said, "Hey, we're trying to find this guy so we can go mess him up because he messed my dog up." Because, you know, ruralish. And his exact words are paraphrasing. I don't have his exact words, but paraphrasing. "Okay, just do it outside of my jurisdiction." So the dog is alive, but in a lot of pain, but hopefully we'll make a full recovery. But I found it very interesting that in our neck of the woods, the PD was like, "Do what you gotta do. Don't do it inside city limits, outside my jurisdiction." Roger that. So, we'll be seeing you, Mr. Guy, in the dark gray Ram pickup truck with the black utility body.
Notice how he also maintained a good distance from the cab.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he did. He definitely, you're talking about the law enforcement officer?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Definitely did. Anyway, so, yay, Oklahoma. Societal in general, we talked about that. Natural disasters, reminder, tornado season is gearing up May through June, wildfire season June through August, hurricane season June through November. If a natural disaster occurs in your area during this health crisis, emergency and citizen responses will be very different. Prepare accordingly. I think that's a great point.
Citizen response, that sounds like your community and militias and...
Grindstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, positions of strength, You have to be so wildly strong, so wildly good that you are in a position to be a blessing to other people. To the best of your ability, don't be dependent upon the system. This channel is called Bear Independent for a reason. The whole goal is to not be dependent upon the system. So, and we're not there yet, frankly, but we're closer than we've ever been. I thought the system was going to stick around a little bit longer than it has, but hey, that's okay.
Yeah, my move turned into a bug out by hours.
So, whoa there, Raffle. Under single accounts, there is some stuff that I do want to address because of the severity of it, the gravity of it. Under medical, and again, the entirety of this report is on Patreon. Just go to Patreon, look up Bear Independent. You'll find us there, $1 or more per month, 24 exclusive pieces of content per month, phone consultations for the higher level patrons, knife giveaway. Actually, that's at the web store. Yeah, we got to get that knife here in a minute.
It's a really sweet knife.
Do you know where it is?
No, I don't.
So in the shelf in my office, there's a shelf in my office. If you look at the top, you'll see a thing, and then you look at the second shelf down, you'll see a thing, and then the third shelf down, you'll see that knife.
Cool.
Could you grab it, please?
Of course.
Thank you. So anyway, yeah, we're doing all that stuff on Patreon, and the entirety of this report is on Patreon. But under medical, on the single accounts, you have on-the-ground info from a Cleveland ER. Tests for strict criteria, heart rate over 100, fever of 100.5, obvious shortness of breath, and health history risk factors are the only way testing in an ER will happen. So let's repeat what they are looking at to even test you in the ER. And you can use this for your own personal benefit. If you see yourself or a loved one or, you know, whatever, you see somebody that has these symptoms, then you would know based upon these symptoms that they are testing at a Cleveland ER only following the observation of these symptoms. And so these symptoms are, again, a heart rate over 100, fever over 100.5, obvious shortness of breath, and health history risk. These are the only way that they're testing at the ER. Virtual doctor's visits are available. Prescriptions are needed for a drive-through test for non-criteria patients obtained from a family doctor or virtual visit, meaning that you don't just show up and get tested. No visitor signs and temperature checks are being enforced. 2 positive cases were admitted to the ICU last night, 1 on ventilator. Masks and goggles are primary additions to uniform, N95s, gowns, and contact precautions for those for those actually tested.
Sorry.
The words, they're so difficult.
It's been a day.
Well, yeah, lots of rationing going on in Albany, New York. Rural sheriffs in Utah are being asked to shave their beards and goatees to use their PPE. Chick-fil-A is serving people in South Carolina that they know they had a case of COVID there, and so they shut down the interior. You can't dine in, but they're still serving food out the window. That's cool. Under miscellaneous, there is a rumor going around about a nationwide shutdown of communications starting from April Fool's Day. Every legitimate source, including direct statements by government officials, even UN officials, if you trust them, as well as an overwhelming number of essential infrastructure communications entities. I really think the Intel staff just puts all these big words together to see if I can say them in a row. I'm tracking. I'm gonna send you an email. We gotta talk, Intel staff.
Hey man, it wasn't me. I can't even count the potato.
I can't. So. I can almost count the potato. Almost. I'm like 1, 7, 63. Tater? Tater? I don't know. Every legitimate source, including direct statements by government officials, even UN officials, as well as an overwhelming number of essential infrastructure communications entities, completely counteracts this idea. Let me repeat, completely counteracts this idea. The encouragement and institution of remote work for a huge amount of the workforce, including the government itself, is another point against this possibility. And here's a tip under miscellaneous. One viewer found a place that supplies restaurants and they had plenty of inventory and very few customers. The viewer's list is submitted below. 50-pound sack of pintos, $45. That's way up. It's about 50% up since the last time I bought pintos. 50-pound bags of enriched long grain rice, $30. That's 2 times the pre-COVID price, yet they're still there. 50-pound bags of all-purpose flour, $18 each. Not a bad price. I think we get AP flour. We're getting AP flour for like $10 to $12 for 50, so that's not bad. Roma tomatoes, $1 a pound. Jalapenos, 50 cents a pound. Whole frozen chicken breast, skin on, 2 1/4 a pound, 10-pound minimum. And large restaurant rolls of 2-ply toilet paper, $2 each, with a limit of 2. So that's good to know. Let's see. The UK is texting a bunch of people, i.e. everybody, saying, yo, coronavirus alert, go to this website and stay at home, protect the National Health Service, and save lives, which is wonderful. Disconfirmations. And so, to be completely clear, we're getting lots of mixed signals about this. Pennsylvania. Since the previous live stream, as of yesterday, several PA residents have noted that the state has only stopped people from obtaining new permits. These are firearms permits. They have not suspended concealed carry, nor has there been any information stating that firearms cannot be transported. Additionally, while several counties in the state have a stay-at-home order, the entirety of the state is not under such an order at this time. That very well may change, and we are actually repeatedly getting intel to the contrary of that, so act accordingly is the best I can tell you. Let's see. We'll do some actionables, then we'll get into silver linings. Due to the extreme scarcity of PPE in hospitals, many healthcare workers are asking the public to make and donate handmade face masks. Deaconess Hospital in Indiana provided a pattern and a video tutorial on its website. There are a lot of free patterns available to home seamstresses. The CDC has approved the use of these fabric masks by healthcare workers until such a time that domestic production of proper PPE is back up to speed. So that's cool. If you need something to do, you can make some masks. And I don't know if they're actually going to work or not, guys. That's not my job. Dr. Bear never happened.
Could I get away with like a shemagh?
I think a shemagh would work, right? Think about that. That's a good idea. I saw Origin, which is, Jocko is partnered in. They're making masks, so that's cool to know. Like, they suspended all forward production on rash guards and gis and just started making masks. So that's cool. Okay, warnings worth repeating. Many with mental illness are struggling more under current circumstances. Please pray and act accordingly. Warning, thefts and robberies are increasing. Some viewers have reported witnessing opportunity scoping by very shady characters and or meth-impacted individuals. Multiple events more expected with increasing economic pressure and reduced police response to nonviolent events such as property theft or decreased police response to the direct statement that we're going to go F that guy up. Okay, just do it outside my jurisdiction. Copy that. Which, by the way, officer, I gave you a card. If you're watching this right now, I appreciate you, bro. I really do. Don't worry, we haven't messed him up yet. But we are going to have a nice talk with him when we see him. Nice talk. Gentlemanly talk. There might be a 1/4-inch spade drill bit involved in this talk, but I don't know yet. Bamboo under the fingernails, we'll figure it out. Kerosene in a shemagh and an inclined plane, we'll figure it out. There's still people going door to door trying to sell coronavirus test kits. Don't believe them. Don't give them your money. Silver linings. Praise the Father. Priorities are shifting. People are valuing what they have and what they truly need and each other. I think this is something we've been talking about a lot on the homestead today. I think it's awesome. Florida, Shop for the At-Risk Public Group is connecting healthy adults for the drop and leave supply runs for those at risk. One of our Bear Nation couples is heading up one of the branches in Florida. That's awesome. Bless you. Thank you. That's awesome. Gas prices are low due to an unrelated price war, or unrelated price war between Russia and the Middle East. Even people who remain employed and or part of the critical infrastructure are also saving on their gas bills. I thought this was cool. Hawaii is ahead of the curve. The people are acting before the government does. Praise the Father. Schools were on vacation during the week of 16 March, and the Hawaii Teachers Association successfully kept schools closed this week through a grievance process with the state. People of the island have formed petitions to isolate the island from tourism. Hunting and prepping networks are activated and already trading. That's awesome. Cool. Farmers markets switched to online order forms within a week. The community is very disaster prepared due to experience with volcanoes, hurricanes, etc. That's awesome. Local Long Island distilleries are producing grain alcohol and mixing with aloe vera to make and distribute hand sanitizer to local communities. Families are bonding, projects are finally getting done, and gardens are flourishing. Several locations have initiatives, and individuals are beginning to sew masks for their local hospitals. That's awesome. I think people should really look into that. I mean, if you have those skills, I don't have those skills. But if you have those skills and you can make fabric masks, and think about those fabric masks can probably be washed, boiled, steamed, washed, something, and reused as long as they're not heavily soiled. That's awesome. So if you can that's awesome.
That's what they wore 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
more news of schools providing meals to those who need them. Nassau County, Florida schools are providing breakfasts and lunches via bus routes for any child. The child does not have to be a student. The Council on Aging is also delivering meals to the elderly. Local pharmacies are delivering meds to the elderly or health-compromised individuals. That's awesome. One viewer, that was a toddler, awesome.
Neighbors.
Yeah. I don't hear any more screaming. Got bitter stung.
Maybe fishing for crawdads and
maybe
caught a finger.
That's possible. They were crawdadding in that creek earlier. Hopefully it wasn't
for garden fertilizer, not for eating.
That's right. Hopefully it wasn't like a copper-headed rattle moccasin.
Yeah.
I think there'd be more screaming.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, shoot them a text to make sure they're okay. Shoot them a text next door and make sure they're okay. Thank you. Hashtag neighbors. Okay. One viewer is going on virtual tours and virtual hiking trips with their children. That's awesome.
I didn't know virtual hiking.
Hey man, that's
Can I
awesome.
virtually hike Mount Everest
Let's
now?
go. Today they visited the Shenandoah National Park. That's awesome. Some are receiving sizable hazard pay increases at brick and mortar stores, a welcome blessing during economic hardship. A viewer in Scotland is out of the neighboring fray, debt-free, and set up with water, land, fuel, wildlife, and fish in the sparsely populated area. Praise the Father. School shootings, mass shootings, and terrorist attacks have seen a drastic reduction because we're focusing on things that matter. Many are checking in with each other, family members, mags, and neighborhoods. People are refurbishing relationships and asking for help and helping each other. People are so kind and appreciative of these briefs, which make the Intel staff feel warm and fuzzy. Thank you all for your contributions and kind words. Good job, Intel staff. Y'all rock. You are tremendous. Believe me. Everybody tells me Melania is gorgeous and Mexico did not have to pay for this Intel brief. Everybody tells me. Believe me. All right, and we have just some quick pointers from our friends in the financial industry. Given everything that's been going on, I want to hit this pretty quickly because there might be a nugget or two in here for you. And then we will get into Tactical Tuesday for those of y'all who are new, and there are many of you. Bless you and thank you for being here. Tactical Tuesday, what it is basically open air question and answer. You ask your question and we answer it to the best of our broken ability. And I think now maybe more than ever, there's a lot of new preppers out there. I know there's a lot of new people at our channel. And so if we can provide actionable, actual advice, I'm happy to do so. And that's what Tactical Tuesday is all about. So right before we get into Tactical Tuesday, again, all of this is at patreon.com. Just look for Bear Independent. You can find the entirety of the brief there. Okay, number one, pay attention to the order in which you are paying your bills. Before all else, put food in your belly. Pay easy to shut off things first, such as gas, electric, and water bills. Then pay rent and communications, most likely your cell phone. It takes a lot more effort for someone to evict you in times of crisis than it does to shut off your electricity. Meaning that buy food first, then pay your bills, and then pay your rent. And then lastly, at least right now, if you're servicing a debt load, that should be at the bottom of your list currently, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And whether they want to or not, many lenders are being very understanding right now. Item number two, people are still hiring. If you've lost your job and need that income to continue, try to find a job in one of the currently surging industries such as distribution, delivery, or logistics. Essential goods manufacturing is thriving as well. We are selling the crap out of Bearfax. Thank you, boys and girls who are ordering our iFax. We are still shipping iFax as well. We're still getting product in. We're still assembling it. We still have handmade pouches made in America by Brother Cody at Sojourn Gear. Still North American Rescue components. I mean, the stuff's flying off the shelves, so thank you. Especially like, hey man, if you got to treat a gunshot wound, might as well do it with the kit that the Air Force PJs say is better than what they're issued. Better than what you're issued in the Marine Corps.
Yep.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen. Be healed. So.
No, seriously, they are better than the stuff that the military is currently getting issued. For real.
Not exaggerifying, which is a word that they say out here in the country. Us country folk like to make up words. That's right.
Countrified.
That's right. Hashtag mission accomplished. I'm just gonna get me one of these giant aircraft carriers right here, a big yellow banner across it that says mission accomplished. All right, people are still hiring. Essential goods manufacturing is thriving as well. Every single grocery store I know of is currently hiring. You can always use this as a placeholder until your previous job or jobs in your field are available again. Some income is better than no income. Don't acquire, this is item number 3, which also is drinky drink time. Cheers. Don't acquire any new debt if at all possible. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that? The Templeton rye right there. The good stuff. Ain't kidding. That guy ain't kidding right there, I'll tell you what.
The liquor stores are still open.
Yeah, essential. We haven't been there, just so we're...
Don't lick all the bottles on the shelves, please.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a prepper. Just a little bit. Might have had an inventory, and your vibe attracts your tribe. So the last 3 deployments we've done with Grindstone, like 3 or 4 people have all been like, so I hope it's not weird, but I bought you a bottle of whiskey. And I'm like, it's not weird at all. Bless you. Thank you. So thanks to every one of y'all who's just been like, you know what, Bear looks like he needs 1 more bottle of whiskey. You were correct. He still does, and he has a P.O. box, and he's still receiving orders as well. I'm just saying. So intel at bearindependent.com, intel at bearindependent.com, intel at bearindependent.com. I'll find out what the Intel staff like. You know, I think it's illegal to ship alcohol, but, you know, gift cards or something. We'll figure it out. They're making it legal now?
Yeah, so people don't have to drive to the store.
Drive-through beer and mixed drinks now. Like single serving.
Single serving beers and mixed drinks can now be picked up?
Yep.
Where?
Several states.
So you're driving around while drinking.
No, you still can't drink it.
You can't drink it while you're operating the vehicle, but you can go pick it up in the vehicle, then drive home, then drink your mixed drink?
Yeah.
Only government could make up that kind of bullshit. Okay.
And if it's not a violent felony, they're not going after.
They're not even like the promise of a violent felony. They're like, you're good. Just stay out of my jurisdiction. Copy. Item 3. Don't acquire any new debt if at all possible. During uncertain times, it is easy to think leverage is your way out. Proverbs 22. The debtor is a slave to his debt. That applies even more in times of hardship. Don't dig a deeper hole. Okay. Item 4. Now is really a great time to distinguish the difference in needs and wants. Amen. My old man told me years ago, 20 years ago, he said, if you make a list of everything you need and you make a list of everything you want, you'll find that your needs are much fewer than your wants. And you don't do anything with the wants list until you've handled everything on the needs list. Man, that was great advice. And I mean, here we are, killing it in front of the barn, live to 982 people. Like, honestly, share this thing. Let's get it up to 1K again. And only 234 thumbs up. What's going on? What's going on? Is it because he needs a haircut? It's probably because he needs a haircut. But look, I got this thing going. So that's worth a couple of thumbs up, right? There you go. All right. Now is a really great time to distinguish the difference in needs and wants. If you have anything that auto drafts from you monthly, subscriptions, entertainment, etc., reevaluate how important those things really are. For example, is Netflix truly an essential item? By the way, hashtag COVID kids, it might be. Everybody needs some background noise, you know what I mean? And so, just saying. And while you're reevaluating, you know, Patreon, Bear Independent, just saying, it's a buck a month.
Shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs. 5, if you currently have money in a tax-deferred account, IRA or 401k, now is most likely not the time to cash it out, even if you have lost your job. Dave Ramsey often says most stupid decisions are made when we are either drunk or scared. Taking out the money from your retirement accounts could very well end up in that category down the road. It's important to understand that there's a possibility, and I'm not the professional on this, but there's a possibility that you pay 50% taxes on that money next year. So if you take 10K out of savings, you could pay 5K in taxes on it next year. If you decide, number 6, if you do decide that you want to make investments in this volatile stock market, please do not DIY. Please seek the help of a trained professional that you trust. When you hear of people talking years later about losing all their money in the stock market in uncertain times, it is usually because of the type of investing they are doing. Leverage or selling at the wrong times. Please seek professional guidance if you are going to try to do any type of investment changes during this time. 7, and as we know, 7 is the number for spiritual fulfillment. If you are not suffering financially during this time, please reach out to those you know who are. Be a blessing right now for those who need it. Keep paying people who work for you if you can. Buy groceries for your elderly neighbors. Give people a reason to ask why you are loving on them with no expectation of return. That's awesome. And lastly, we've got a really high-speed graphic here. And this is the S&P 500 index from the last 3 decades for perspective. Zoomed out visualization of the current state of the S&P, a portion of the stock market. So there we are. We are right here. This is our crash. This was 30 years ago. So we've made it from here to here. And this is good news because while it may seem like the sky is falling, in perspective, over 30 years, no, we've still grown, what, 2.5, 3 times? So, and again, I'm not a financial expert. I don't even play one on YouTube. I just wanted to lump that in with our brief for this evening. Thank you, boys and girls, for being here. We're going to talk about this knife real quick, then we're going to open it up to questions on Tactical Tuesday. This is made by Fleming's Fabrications. This is a 5-inch handmade American bushcraft knife with a ceramic sharpening honer on this side, a fire steel on this side. It's in Kydex. Both of these things are removable. It's got stacked G10 scales. It's a 1/4 inch thick. It's disgustingly sharp. It's got my logo on it. It's got the proof marks from Fleming Fabrications on it. I mean, look, you can see, look at that. Look right there, look at that. It's like ad infinitum right there. It's like one of those mirror house trick things, right? And it's wicked sharp, wicked. Let's see. There's some bear hair on the knife. Wicked sharp. This knife is not for sale. What it is for raffling. It's in the store at bearindependent.com. It's a $5 raffle ticket. We actually send you a raffle ticket. So it's $5 plus $1 shipping because we put it in an envelope and send it to you. And then at the end of this month, 31 March, which is 1 week away, live on Tactical Tuesday, one night from now, we will be picking out the raffle ticket for the winner of this knife. That $5 bill for each ticket goes to benefit Grindstone Ministries, which is our charitable organization, which is fighting sex trafficking and human trafficking. I've talked about it repeatedly on camera. We have a lot of new people. What Grindstone does is we are basically, when it comes to construction, the Father's Special Forces. Basically think of Habitat for Humanity, but much smaller and much more agile. And we are in the home stretch of building Bethany House, which is a facility that will be used for the rehabilitation for victims of human trafficking and sex crimes. Children. The average, and what's the word I'm looking for here? The average victim is between 8 and 12 years old. The average victim has been raped 30 times. What Bethany House does is they have what they call a wraparound approach. And so they rehabilitate and restore these people, these kids, in 6 facets: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, financial, and educational. They represent 60 beds in the United States. Right now, there are only 400 beds in the United States to fight a $150 billion per year industry of human trafficking and sex crimes. And per DHS, when you rehabilitate these people, they have to go to a bed that's dedicated to that, human trafficking and sex crimes. And so that's what our charitable organization, Grindstone, has been doing. And to do that takes a lot of time and money. And one of the ways that we raise money is by raffling off cool things. And so this knife, you can get a raffle ticket for this knife at bearindependent.com. You can also go to grindstoneministries.com if you'd like to donate. That goes directly into our funds. Nobody on the board gets paid. Like, all of our overhead basically comes out of my pocket. And then there are a handful of y'all, bless you, that contribute monthly to Grindstone at our P.O. Box, and I really, 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 really appreciate it. So if you want a chance at winning a badass knife, this knife right here, you can go check it out at the web store, and everything else is there too: stickers, patches, t-shirts, IFAKs, thumb drives, raffle tickets. I don't know what else.
A lot of stuff, man.
Oh, and we got an exclusive of 50 stickers coming in, but I'm not going to show you what it is, but there's only 50 of them. You guys who are old school, who've been here a long time, are going to lose your dang minds. Now, you think we ought to Tactical Tuesday now?
Tactical Tuesday?
Shall we tacticalize?
Tacticalize.
These are the words.
Tuesday?
Okay, do your thing. And live chat is on.
Oh boy, the chat's back.
Oh boy. No, not the unicorns. Not the unicorns.
They're better.
Renee Stump. Can we buy the poop? No.
Man, you can't even
Phelps,
buy toilet
bless
paper
you,
right
brother.
now.
Tony John, shalom. Sarah, you might be right, Sarah. You are right, Sarah. Hey, we need to send Renee a unicorn. Okay? Okay.
Man, the chat is just...
I know. Tom, CM, PNW, shalom. Never know, shalom. Witness 144, Zub Zub. Hey, Zub Zub. Cross, Grandma Ginger, Justin Kearney. Home Skillet. Hey, Home Skillet. Shalom, sister. Good to see you, Yankee. Richard Wells. Shalom, brother. Mr. Brees. Ross Brawley. Oh, my gosh. It just...
So many.
I know. All right, let's pick one. The next question we see. Free Spirit. Shalom. We love you back, Ross.
Yeah.
Best states to move to for homesteading. That's a good one. Lucas Pensis. So let's riff on that. Best states for homesteading. So there we go. What do you think?
I'd have to go, honestly, with Oklahoma or Arkansas.
Good answer. Any particular reason?
Less government interference.
Okay. We have water. We have timber. We have grass as well. It doesn't get too hot. It doesn't get too cold. Land is affordable, more affordable or less affordable depending on how much you want and where it is and yada, yada, yada.
Certain counties don't require permits to build what you want on your land.
That's exactly right. Most counties in this area are like, you build whatever the hell you want. We don't care.
Permits? We don't do permits.
Yeah, they're like, what do you mean permit? You know, I didn't try to. I did. I built a one-off wind turbine in a town in southwestern Oklahoma. And I walked into the city hall / fire department / water department / office for the chief of police. And I was like, hey, I want to put up a wind turbine. I'd like to talk to somebody about getting a permit. And the chief of police / mayor / dispatcher was like, permit? The hell do you need a permit for? I said, I don't know. That's usually how we do it. He goes, hell, just build it. I was like, can I get that in writing? He goes, yeah. And he took a sheet of paper and a Sharpie and wrote, hell, just build it, and signed it. And I was like, this is awesome. I'd like to hang out with that guy. I don't know where he is now. Where are they now? Behind the scenes with Bear.
It's a documentary series.
Yeah. And so in a lot of places, like on the East Coast, you have to ask permission for everything. On the West Coast, you have to ask permission for everything. As you get kind of into the center of the country, there's less of that. Now, the more population you have, the more likely you are to have to ask permission to do whatever it is you want to do. However, in this area of the world, the population density equation is right. There's enough people around to form meaningful relationships with like-minded people, but not so many people around that I'm not worried about the golden horde or the zombies coming up my road.
Hey, man, I don't like how your yard looks. I'm going to go complain.
Right? You know, actually, I got some intel today that was like the HOA in one viewer's neighborhood is actively outwriting tickets right now. I'm like, for what? Because you didn't mow your yard? We've been commanded to stay indoors. It's like, yeah, your grass is a little long. We're going to have to write you a ticket over that. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. And so I do like this area, northeastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, southwestern Missouri. It's a good area. There's good people here. Now, I've also homesteaded in upstate New York. Just to be completely clear, homesteaded in upstate New York, and it is not possible to pay me money to live in New York. People have tried. I'm not interested.
Been there once, no thanks.
Hey, guess what? I'm a felon now. No, I'm good. How about that? I'm good. But back in the day, I mean, there are areas of upstate New York, man, the soil in between these mountains, the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, dude, it's black.
Yeah.
It's
the Poconos, the Jewish Alps. Yeah.
You just got to go digging through all the rock.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's
more like boulders that are the size of your house, but,
yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah, it's fine. You can do it. So the soil is good, and there are good people there, but literally, I left upstate New York because the town that I was in passed an ordinance that you could be fined $250 for putting a blue tarp on your firewood because it was an eyesore. And so my mom is Pennsylvania Dutch. I was born and raised in upstate New York, and my dad's from the Midwest, Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, right? And so, you know why it's so windy in Oklahoma?
Why?
Because Kansas sucks and Texas blows. Just kidding. Love y'all. I'm just kidding. I could say that because my family for the last 200 years has lived in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. A little bit of Nebraska. You know what's in Nebraska? Corn and white people. That's it.
That's
the only thing that's in Nebraska, corn and white people.
Welcome to Nebraska. Enjoy looking at corn
Yeah.
for the next 500
So
miles.
you've seen the whole state. This is all we have. There's more corn over here, and there's a few more white people over there, and that's it. Thanks for stopping by. And so, upstate New York, we got by and actually did really well in upstate New York because of the fertility of the soil and the sweat of our brows and the blood of our hands. And then North Texas. And North Texas soil is non-existent, at least where we were. It was, topsoil that was trucked in and dumped over rock. There was no soil. And so the only way we got anything done there was with compost. But a 1/4 acre lot to build a house on in the town next to the town we lived in was $60,000 when we left. And I'm like, nah, for a 1/4 acre, I'm good. Versus, out here, you're looking at $1,500 to $2,500 an acre, more or less. So really, you want to look for land that's affordable. And what we looked for was change in elevation and mature trees and water. And we have mature trees. We have 10 sources of water on property, and we do have change in elevation. It's not drastic, but it's not flat either. And we like that just for visuals and also because it's good to have some high ground and some low ground for tactical reasons. So I can't, other than that, if I was to give you any more data than that, I would simply be pontificating because it's not like I've homesteaded in Western Kansas or Northern Colorado or South Dakota or Western Pennsylvania. I haven't. So based upon what I know, I would say this area. And then completely separate from that, and I don't think it's a coincidence, there are a lot of firm believers being called into this area. And so if this is the apocalypse or the dry run for the apocalypse, it's nice to be around like-minded individuals who are squared away. And there are lots of like-minded individuals who are squared away in this area. So great question, Lucas Pensis. Next, what else do we got? Odds of being,
And it's gone.
and it's, what do you think of the Chris Vector 9mm?
No. So
Hold on. And go. Chris Vector 9mm.
okay, so I worked at a range that had over 120 different firearms on the line at any given moment. I shot the Vector in 45 and a 9mm. No.
Okay. Jams, unreliable.
We had issues with the magazine, the way that your extracting lever, your charging handle, yeah, it's not fun to use. Especially if you're wearing gloves, trying to get a hold of that charging handle. Yeah, it's no bueno. And just the recoil's nice. I will admit that it does have a low amount of recoil, but listen, man, if you don't want to pay the tax stamp, you're getting a Chris Vector with a 16-inch barrel with a 3-pound barrel shroud weight on it because,
Right.
SBRs are illegal unless you want to pay money for them. And
Right.
then you're required to have paperwork on you proving that you paid the tax stamp, and the government is allowing you to have that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't buy a short-barreled 9mm carbine where, even though it's not a short barrel and it looks suppressed, but it's not.
Right.
It's like no. I would
Why
much
don't
rather
just get an AR-9 and the brace if it accidentally lands on your shoulder while you're shooting it.
I think they pulled that back actually.
That's what they pulled it back for
Like,
now.
Is it illegal if I take my 320 and hold it like this?
Yes.
Like, I don't. Yeah.
Right. Get an AR-9. What are they? They're like $650, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that Chris Vector cost a good amount of money too?
There's
doesn't it?
there's companies out there that actually make AR lowers that can take Glock magazines.
Yeah, Palmetto does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and many others as well.
I'm not talking about like those old Colts that like, oh, here's a magwell and we threw an insert in it.
Right.
No, like it's an actual magwell that is like, I'm not looking for the center of it. That's what it is.
Right.
That's
Or-
where it goes.
Or what about a Kel-Tec Sub 2K for $400? Folds up, you got that 16-inch barrel, you got ghost ring sights on it. It takes Glock mags. You can run Glock 17s, Glock 33s. It's a Kel-Tec. It's very simple to operate. It's
Yeah.
blowback. You can find the charging handle. It fits in a backpack. Ask me how I know. You know,
There's one that if it would ever come back in stock again, I would get, but it's because it goes with the systems that I already have, and that's the MP17 for the 320 platform, which I can take, oh, here's my trigger group out of the frame, which isn't the firearm, drop that into this new frame, take my slide and barrel, throw that on there, oh,
Right.
look, and it has a pistol brace, but when you don't have the pistol brace extended, it's like this long.
right. What about one of those chassis for like a Glock or something?
Oh, like a micro Roni?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I've used the micro Roni. It's not gonna have the accuracy as because you're basically taking a gun and putting it inside of a mold to fit a gun in.
Right.
So that's why I like the MP17 platform, because it's actually it's modular and it actually turns your handgun into a handgun, not PDW, but kind of, but
Right.
not really. And it's like, yeah, I'm waiting for that.
So I only run MP5Ks inside of steel attaché cases with triggers on the handles with 15 round mags in them. That's the only way. That's the only time I'll do it. And I enjoy having to pay about $12,000 for that. I'm cool with
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So, great question. What else we got? What else we got, people? Seen a lot of people have problems with the micro Roni. Thank you, Christopher Phelps. We got a.
That's why I'm not a fan of put a gun inside of a fake gun. I'm not a fan of that.
Any tips on goats? Just got 2 babies. Hey, it just so happens.
You guys
Stand
had a
by.
sheep baby.
Hey, who's that lady?
Who's that lady?
Who's that lady? Who is that lady? Because we have a lot of new people here. Who are you, lady?
Mommy.
Jame. Jame Biscuits, a.k.a. my wife, my helpmeet. Tell these people what they need to know about Das Baby Goats.
How old are they? Be prepared. I mean,
He said they just had 2.
if they're bottle babies, like, be prepared to be mama. It's just the same as having a toddler. Like, you gotta be there. You gotta feed. Depending on how old they are, you can probably not have to worry about feeding at night. Just 2 or 3 feedings during the day. And you're gonna be mom if you're bottle feeding. So they will follow you around incessantly, and you leave and they're gonna meh all day long
And
until they see you again.
They'll live on your front porch
Yes, you let them out.
and poop all over
Be
your front
prepared
porch
for house goats.
and think that they are an Anatolian Pyrenees mix, not a Boer Nubian mix, that they are livestock guardian goats, and they will talk to you and they'll be deeply entertaining until they're not.
Yeah.
And then it's entirely possible that your male will become aggressive and that your wife shoots it in the head 6 times because #robust compost pile.
Right.
And that your girl goat attracts all the neighborhood boy goats who just want to jump over your fence and bow chicka wow
Play with
wow.
your girl.
And so very entertaining. I don't think they taste as good as sheep do, but I also think we have absolutely delicious sheep. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my biggest takeaway with baby goats, don't feed them grain until they're old enough.
Males.
The males, well,
Yeah.
and don't let them fall on their sides because they can bloat and die.
Yeah.
And I,
Yeah, and all you goaties and sheepy people, we found out something that you may not know. But male goats should not be fed primarily grain.
you learn.
Yeah.
This is how we learn.
If it is grain, it should be a high quality grain that contains uric acid, because the grain can basically build up a film inside of their urethra, and it can get blocked.
Guys, it sounds as bad as it sounds.
It is as bad as it sounds.
Yeah. So if you are feeding them grain, they should be fed a high quality grain. It should contain uric acid. And
what happens when it gets blocked?
it ruptures.
Uh-huh.
And then you have a goat that is in extreme pain, and you've got to put it down. So it doesn't seem to affect older goats, older males, as much as it does new,
Young-ish males.
yeah, youngish males. But be cautious.
Yep.
And because I had never heard of that, and after I heard it, or after we experienced it, I researched it, and it happens. So just be aware.
Thank you for your goat input.
You're welcome.
And just briefly, what did we do last night at 11:26 p.m., which is far past my bedtime?
Yeah. We birthed our last baby ewe.
Baby sheep,
So,
yeah.
We've got I guess she's not a ewe yet. But yeah, she was born at 10:20-ish
Yeah.
last night. And baby girl, we named her baby Josie. So
We got 2 boys and 2 girls.
got 2 boys and 2 girls out of the lambing season. Praise Yah.
Jethro, Joe Dirt, Jolene, and Josie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I told my wife after she named it Josie, I said, we have 2 brothers that both have daughters named Josie, right? And she was like, we do? Oh, yeah. So I'm sorry if we named our baby sheep after your daughter, brethren, but, it was late and we needed a J name, apparently. So,
Baby
awesome.
Josie.
Baby Josie. Next. On to the next question. What else we got? What's going? Sarah X out of the chat. You will see glad you all have good weather. We have the best weather. It's tremendous. The best shotgun. Ooh, I like that question. Carrie, let's talk about that. Best shotgun for what? Because for this fine lady, it's a Mossberg 520 gauge 5+1 with a 22-inch barrel, vent rib barrel on it, I believe. And she rocks it. For us boys, what is your opinion?
Model 1897, because slam fire and bayonets.
Winchester?
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's another company out there that made that model of shotgun for the war, and I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But
Wasn't
fun.
Stevens, was it?
No.
Okay.
It started with an H or a C, I think.
Oh, an H or a C.
Something.
That narrowed it down.
Yeah. So
Yep.
one of you out there knows which company I'm talking about. They don't exist anymore, I don't think.
Harrington and Richardson?
No, I don't think
Okay.
I don't think it was Harrington.
Okay.
And no, it's not H&K. I know that. I can't remember. My dad literally has it, and I was messing with it like a few weeks ago, and I can't. It's there, but I don't. It's not
Right.
coming out of my mouth right now. But yeah, slam fire, 12 gauge. Yeah.
So Kerry, if you don't have a shotgun yet, and I am actually a really big proponent of shotguns. I love shotguns because I feel like they require less training and are more accessible than these.
A lot of people are saying Ithaca.
Ithaca. My dad had a pair of Ithaca Sweet 16s back in the day, and with the downward ejection. But what I like about shotguns is I can hand a shotgun to somebody with not so much training. Say, point this thing at the bad guy, squeeze the trigger, repeat. Especially in 20 gauge. If you're my size or even your size, like 20 gauge is nothing. It's nothing. My 11-year-old son shoots 20 gauge and shoots 20 gauge well.
I've had women in their early 20s shooting who were like, not even 5.5 feet tall.
Right.
Shooting youth model 20 gauges
Uh-huh.
for the first time ever.
Uh-huh.
And they loved it.
Uh-huh.
And they were shooting trap.
That's
the
awesome.
first time they ever shot a gun before in the day of their life, and they were hitting what they were aiming for. Once they got over the fear of the recoil and, wow, I'm containing an explosion in front of my face.
Think about Sukkot. When we shot like 9,000 rounds in that one day or whatever it was.
That was awesome.
That was tremendous.
There was a 50 cal.
When your tribe includes a guy named 50 Cal Kevin, you know you're lifing appropriately.
Yep.
And so I like the 20 gauge for a lot of reasons. Now, obviously, 12 gauge is 12 gauge, right? It's like, yeah, 12 gauge. But the 20 gauge is nice because I can hand it to anybody in my house other than the toddler, and I'm comfortable with them operating it, and they are comfortable with it operating it. And the toddler could probably, because she's my kid, she's pretty stout. But I like the Mossberg 500, but I also like the Remington 870, and the Maverick 88 is a good shotgun. It's no frills, but it does what it's supposed to do.
I have one more to add. For a really nice homesteading shotgun, it's either a 590 or an 870 Shockwave in 410.
Yeah.
Snakes and putting meat on the table.
Yep.
It's easy and it works.
My first shotgun was a 410 shotgun, break barrel, single shot 410. I remember the first shot I ever took at it was at a dove, and I missed. I shot low, and I felt worthless. I was like, no.
How do you miss
Why? Right, yeah. How do I miss with a shotgun?
That's why the Shockwaves are great, because like double op buck at what was it? I think it was like 10 yards, and it was like that.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
So 500 with an 18.5-inch smooth bore barrel with double op buck will shred a pizza box in 3 rounds. Like it's just a confetti party now. That's all that's left. So best shotgun is highly subjective, but don't rule out the 20 gauge, especially if there's multiple people in your family or your tribe, because 20 gauge makes a hell of a hole, and it can be run by a lot of different people comfortably, and it doesn't scare people near as much as the 12.
I've seen firsthand 12 gauge overwhelm men and women, and it's like, as an instructor and dealing with the husband, where, no, she's gonna shoot this 20 gauge, and it's like, dude, no, she doesn't want to, and he talks her into doing it.
Doesn't want to shoot
and it's
a 12
like,
gauge.
are you an instructor that knows better? No, you're from New York and New Jersey, then shut up. Like, you don't know. And it's like, the first time they ever shoot a gun, they get a bruise on their shoulder, and it's like, well, now your wife hates guns forever.
Yeah.
Don't put people on the biggest gun their first go
That's
around,
a
because
really
it puts
good
a
point.
bad taste in their mouth. It's dumb.
It's like the same people who are like, I'm gonna take my little woman shooting. She's never shot a gun before. Here's a 44 Magnum. No.
Start off with like a 38.
Yeah.
Or a 380.
Yeah. Something.
You know what I mean? And
something
let's work
that just
our way
purrs
up
like a
from there.
pussycat and just build the fundamentals and make it enjoyable for people.
And I'm not saying that this is something that needs to happen for all the women out there, because I've seen women that have never shot a gun before pick up a 1911 and just drill the bullseye with it. I'm like, are you sure you never shot before? And she's like, I had a good instructor. I'm like, thanks.
Yankee Survival YouTube channel and Patreon.
I might have done
some
kinda
things.
shooting stuff.
Things. Yeah, I mean, you were only an instructor for what, 4 years? Is that all?
1 year live fire, 2 years force on force,
There you go.
and 5 years of experience in the military, not necessarily instruction.
There you go. So, awesome. So you know a thing or two. Just a little bit.
There's a lot of guys out there that know more than I do.
Bear, this lady needs a new holster. Aname. What kind of holster?
For what?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I would assume a holster for a side.
D-Hat. I need one of your blowout kits. BearIndependent.com. Click the goods and gear tab, and you can find them there.
Actually, can I do a review on a holster that I've been EDCing for 3 years?
Absolutely. Why not? Live. We're doing it live.
Doing it live.
Hey, is PJF here?
Yeah.
Shalom, Pastor. Where is he? Even in the comments, you can't see him. It's like that guy's
He's way up.
special
The
forces or
quarantine, man.
something. It's the quarantine. That's what it is. I'm one of Yankees trainees. That's awesome. Shalom, Pastor. That's awesome. Send it.
Shalom, Angel.
Nope.
I see you.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Nobody's watching now.
Nobody. All right, so this is a holster that I've been everyday carrying for just over 3 years, and it's made by a company called Tier 1 Concealment. This is the Aegis.
Aegis.
Now, I get a side cart. There's a claw. Really good retention. You could either go with a high back, medium back, or a low back. I like the high back because I don't like cold steel up
Right.
against my body in the wintertime.
Right.
It has a leather strip here, so it flexes. So when you stand up, it contours to you. When you sit down, it contours with you. Now, I will say this. It is Kydex front and back. On the last time I saw on the website, I mean, if you want the Gucci multicam,
Whoa.
yeah, Gucci multicam,
Whoa.
you know, right? But I mean, there's guys that hate full Kydex, and there's guys that love full Kydex.
I'm a full Kydex guy, but go ahead.
Yeah, it depends on the time of year for me, because the wintertime, this gets a little uncomfortable. In the summertime, it feels better,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, but I will say this, especially running a side cart, because 2 is 1 and 1 is none.
Right.
I love being able to carry 30 reasons on why to leave me alone.
And 14 is 13
Yes.
by that math. But go ahead.
Crayons.
Rose art, because they're Torah observant.
Right.
Continue.
But this, I've had a really good experience with it. 3 years of everyday use. There's nothing going on with the leather. It still has good retention. I can adjust the retention if I want it really loose. If I don't, I can take this off, put the other clip on the other side here, and now I actually just have an inside the waistband holster with no side cart.
Awesome.
And they make these, they make them the Axis and the Axis Slim, where the leather is replaced with like a bungee cord. It's not paracord, but you could get like different colors and stuff.
Right.
These are expensive, but I've been wearing this thing every day for 3 years, and it has not failed me.
That's
I
awesome.
like the retention tight enough to where when I go sprinting, I don't have to put my hand on top of my firearm to make sure that it doesn't go flying out, because I'm not like the FBI doing backflips. Okay?
I only run chicken winging this
Yeah.
arm while holding my
Right?
pistol.
I'm not worried about doing backflips, but if I got to go sprint somewhere, guess what? This is going to hold it. Or if I feel like loosening it up a little bit so I can pull it out without it making noise. It just depends. I love it, man, and you can customize it. You can get high vis, all the things with this. It's just, if you like all Kydex IWB, go check out Tier 1 Concealment. No, I do not get any money from them, but like I said, I've been using this for the last 3 years every day for every single one of my handguns. This is for my little gun.
Right.
And then I have a bigger version of the same gun.
How much did you drop on that thing?
This thing because I got Old Glory on the front, this was 129
That's not bad
for 3 years and
for,
still going strong.
for a
dude.
good holster.
I've spent like $400 on holsters before I got this.
Yeah. Well,
So-
for example, I have a Bravo concealment that a certain law enforcement officer friend of ours,
I might know that guy.
that guy encouraged me to get, and it's not a bad holster. There's 2 things I dislike about it. Almost immediately, one of the screws came out of it, and it is still to this day held together with a zip tie, because I've yet to put another screw back in it.
I had a G code that did the same thing, and then I Loctited everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
And
but-
then, Theron, good evening. And then the other thing about it is that, and it's for a light-bearing pistol, but I do not like the fact that it retains on the light,
Yeah.
not the gun, because you can't run it without the gun. Just purchased a helicopter Awesome.
Sounds like
You should hang out with 50 Cal Kevin. Shalom Tactical Homestead. Yeah, they're guaranteed, but you know, my life's kind of busy. So anyway,
They have surplus little birds for sale now.
let's do it. Name of the vendor again is Tier 1 Concealment.
Yep.
Tier 1 Concealment. T-I-E-R, I'm guessing.
T-I-E-R.
Ter-
One is in the number one.
There you go.
So
Megadeth agrees.
go check out like
Loctite all the things. Shalom Concrete.
go check out like the Man Spot's old videos from like 3 years ago because he like disappeared or something, but you'll find it out there with a link. I don't know. Whatever.
How's the dog? Good question for my lovely talented. Are you ready, help meet?
Oh, yeah, I was getting ready to reply on
What-
chat. but
Oh,
yeah.
well, here
Go
we
ahead.
go. And send it.
Okay. Sam is okay, from what we can tell. He's definitely got hurt hips. He went completely under the vehicle and tire. I've been checking him for internal bleeding. Everything seems okay. He's up walking very slowly, but he's up walking, no limping. He's eating, he's drinking, he's urinating. I'm waiting and watching to see if he poops. So, okay, as of this moment. And praise Yah.
Praise
Praise Yah.
So, that's how Sam is doing.
And Yah help that fella when we lay eyes on him and he be healed tomorrow.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the update. The
And so
doggy
is
update.
Uncle James.
And Uncle James is okay as well.
Yeah.
Praise Yah. That's awesome. Randy Shea, shalom. Thank you. HB 5717. Lots of people have asked about that. So the nice thing about HB 5717 is that it was introduced by the same man who was worried that the island of Guam, I'm terrified that it's going to tip over and capsize.
Because islands float, I
'Cause-
guess.
Yeah, if you put too many people on one side of an island, it will definitely flip
How
over.
is this guy like elected? Is he mentally fit at this point? Like,
Does that matter? I mean,
it's real life, bro.
yeah, Congress, bro. So, Hank Johnson sucks. We all know that he sucks, yet somehow he's still there. It's basically the let's ban everything that has anything to do with guns bill.
Super gun control.
777, awesome. I don't know what else to say about it other than it's freaking tyranny. Let's make sure that it doesn't pass.
Yeah, go ahead and try to pass gun control when nobody's allowed to leave their house.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, please tread on me harder, please.
You know, I think it's one of those things. Let's just say that it passes. Likelihood of enforcement in most areas of the country,
Low.
goose egg. It will, and upside, there are so many people right now that were of, say, more of a liberal mindset
We don't need guns.
that are now trying to like buy guns off of Palmetto or Bud's Gun Shop and pay extra to have them shipped to their house right now, who are realizing it
Sorry.
doesn't work that way.
Has to go to an FFL, and your state closed them down.
Yeah, and so I think there's a lot of new gun owners and
10-day
people.
waiting periods.
Yeah, and new. There's a lot of new gun owners and a lot of people who are trying to become new gun owners right now. That I think this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing overall. There will be more people, hopefully, who are going to be like, yeah, let's not infringe these rights anymore because and I don't necessarily agree with panic buying.
No.
I don't think you go to the gun store and buy a gun not having any idea how to operate it or clean it or load it or do anything with it at all because OMG, it's SHTF, bro.
Go seek training on your own. It can save your life.
Yep. However, I think there's a lot of firearms advocates and Second Amendment advocates being made right now. And so hopefully, and obviously hope is not a strategy, but hopefully after this is all said and done, assuming that it will be all said and done without the second coming of Messiah, assuming that this is all said and done, there will be many, many more gun rights advocates in this country. HB 5717 is an atrocity. It's straight up tyranny. It needs to go away. A bug just flew into my eyeball.
There's a catch-22 in it, literally.
Can I get an amen? Amen. Blah, blah, blah. I need that white jacket for be healing people. Be healed. That guy just needs to be healed. That's what we should do. We should start a 1,000,000-man march to be healed. What's his name?
I don't
just
know
forgot.
because-
Hank Johnson.
Ugh.
Be healed, Hank Johnson. And we could just like, like at the end of a baseball game where everybody walks by and just like high fives each other in the middle of the field, or like a football game or something.
Can't do that now, bro. There's the coronavirus.
Well, other than the fact that like we're gonna get the Gina flu, other than that, we could all do that to Hank Johnson. He could just sit in a chair and we'll all walk by and be healed to him. And by the time we're done, he definitely won't be fit for service. We don't have to worry about this pill anymore, and it'll be just fine.
Can I go? I'm gonna hit this one thing though.
Send it.
On the head.
Send it.
Go get training. I did not learn how to use things like this because I have them or was given them. I've had to use them, and that's how I got better.
Are you telling me that possession does not equal proficiency?
Yes.
No.
Knife hand.
This is like the entirety of my channel's history, me saying that the gun under your bed that's not zero doesn't count.
Only as good as the shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serious face.
Serious
right?
face.
Thousands of people that I've instructed over the course of a few years.
We still serious facing?
I'm serious facing right now. I have had so many people talk up like they knew what they were doing, and I've had to put several faces into benches because, oh, you know what you're doing and you just flagged half the line. Or, oh, you just pointed a loaded gun at my face. Like, I've had guys in force-on-force scenarios talk big game, and it's like, all right, bro, cool, home invasion, here it comes. And they didn't survive their scenario.
Knowing it was coming.
Knowing it was coming. Like, hey, man, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen, but it's not going to be fun.
Yeah,
But you say you know what you're doing, so go ahead. You have all these laws that you have to follow. You have to be justified. You have to know how to articulate. And, oh, you got shot in the leg? Where's your tourniquet? There's a nice little paint stain on your pant leg there. Where's your tourniquet? Where's the rest of your family? Did you just commit murder? Did you call 911? Did your wife call 911? Where's your kids? It's crazy, man. I've seen it so much, and it eats me up when it's like people come out and they don't know what they're talking about because they haven't trained. And here's the thing. If you're paying an instructor to teach you, please be the student. Be the student.
That's a good point as well.
You're not there to teach the instructor. You're there to learn by the instructor.
Or to prove how much you already know. Like, it's...
I want to take Fighting Carbine 1 5 times from 5 different instructors for ego checks.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I was taught by 5 different Navy SEALs on the same intro to Fighting Carbine.
C-clamp! Like this, bro.
Yeah. If your wrist isn't on top of the rails, you're not doing it right.
If you're not holding it like this, it's incorrect.
I love it, man. I'm just a regular guy that's just trying to like show people how to not look stupid and how to do it the way that works.
We talked about this last night.
Yes,
your vibe
we did.
attracts your tribe, right? And it's like, it's not everybody has to be an operator, but you do have to have proficiency with your weapons platform.
And I know there's somebody out there that I know personally. There's actually a few of you out there because y'all texted me, so I know. I miss y'all, and thank you for all the opportunities that you guys gave me and for all the good times.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Like, you guys are awesome back there, and I hope y'all are staying safe and that you're staying well fed and you have all the toilet paper that you need right now.
And I hope you GTFO because it's beyond time. If you live where he lived or anywhere near it, skedaddle.
If you're within a tank of gas from New York City, you're too close.
I'm willing to go if you're within a day's drive of New York City, you're too close. There was 15,000, almost 16,000 cases of COVID-19 there yesterday. Who knows what the numbers are today? It's probably 25,000
care,
today.
Man.
So
it's insane.
Back to the questions.
And lots of training.
Check.
Amen.
Dichotomy.
All the training.
TP, the new master race.
Scots. 1,000 sheets
Scots.
per roll.
Whoa. Odds of this situation being under control by Easter per Trump. Let's talk about that. Excuse me. I don't want to, how shall I say, contradict the leader of the free world, but that's not what we're seeing. Now, let me be clear. I would love it if by pagan fertility holiday, this was all cleared up. However, I'm willing to bet money that it won't be by pagan fertility holiday.
I don't care about rabbits pooping eggs.
Yeah, by the way, and if you're wondering what we're talking about, when the rabbit starts pooping the eggs, that's what I'm talking about. Now, that being said, and I know we're going to make all the people upset, but, you know, the truth hurts. I bought into all the lies of the church myself for a long time, and I feel so much better doing what I was told to do by my Messiah.
Amen.
But I digress. I don't believe that will be the case. However, I would love it if it was. I think that would be great, but
I would love it if it was cleared up tomorrow.
Yeah, but I don't see the numbers trending in that direction.
We're out of Oreos, man. We need a double stuffed resupply, and I can't go to Walmart.
And this is precisely what I was talking about when I said they are not lowering the winch line for you. Nobody is bringing me a pallet of double stuffed Oreos. It has not happened yet. And it's actually, we were talking about this. We were talking about this earlier. It's like, you know, you prepped appropriately when you're gaining weight during the apocalypse.
Man, we're getting low on Oreos, bro. Well, we got plenty of rice. We're good.
Yeah.
We literally went to Walmart to just get like last little like, hey man, we should probably get like some Oreos before we can't go to the store anymore.
This is like a week ago.
Seriously, no, seriously, that's where we were at. We should probably go get some Oreos because we're good on everything else.
Right. And so it's like,
that's how you know you're good to go.
yeah, it's like, oh, you've been doing the things, Oreos are your concern. You know, it's like, hey, do we have medical? Yeah. Do we have food? Yeah. How's the ammo? Yeah. Do we have construction materials? Yeah. Do we have people? Oh yeah. Do we have equipment? Mm-hmm. Do we have? It's like, we're running low on Oreos and Reese's Pieces. Like, those situations are dire. Other than that, and what, honey?
We're out of pretzels.
And pretzels. Apparently, we're out of pretzels. Good news. The pretiola is made out of wheat, and we are not out of wheat at all.
You're gonna make some pretzels?
You can ground some flour tomorrow.
I grew up next to a pretzel factory.
Nice. You know, pretzels are shaped that way because it's supposed to represent, they were made by, the story, the legend is, made by an Italian priest, the pretiola, which represents the folding of the arms in prayer, which is why they have that shape.
I don't ever remember doing this.
Listen, it's wizardry. Okay, I said Italian priest. It's wizardry. But I digress. I really don't believe that this will be over by Ishtar.
No.
However, I would love it if it was, but I don't see the numbers trending in that direction. I do firmly believe our Creator is sovereign over all things, and He's still at the helm. He's still driving the bus. And so none of this has surprised Him. Not even a little bit. He is not sitting up there going, damn, those kids are out of control. He's like, you know, none of this was a shock to Him. And so whatever His will is, we will do it. to the best of our ability. And if this thing is over by pagan fertility holiday, praise the Most High. And if it's not, praise the Most High, because it's His will be done, not my will be done. And we are blessed that we have good people. We're surrounded by good people. We're supported by good people. We have the things we need. Nobody here is going to starve to death. Nobody here is going to become a victim of a violent crime. Nobody here is going to suffer undue harm because of negligence or lack of pre-planning. We've done the best that we could given the resources we had to deploy against this conviction. And there are times I vacillate back and forth during the day of I should have done this, or I'm glad I did that, or what about this? But ultimately, again, man, these shoulders are big, but they're not built to carry the weight of the world. They were not made for that. They can carry about this much of the weight of the world, and that is a blessing. The fact that I would be trusted with that little tiny itty bitty piece of responsibility for the kingdom is a total and utter blessing. But man, He's sovereign over all things. And so as long as I'm in line with His will for my life, I'm good. Including whatever's going to happen with this China flu. So, great question. That's my extremely long answer to your short question. I don't know. But the numbers are not trending in that direction. You got anything to add to that?
No, man.
Babe, you got anything to add?
What?
You got anything to add to that?
I wasn't listening.
Oh, you weren't listening?
It's not going to go away
I'm live
anytime
chatting.
soon. I don't.
Okay.
I'm here for the people.
If you are running low on supplies and you're willing to put yourself and the people that you're with into that risk category because you need food or things like that, man, you better do it soon before it gets worse.
We talked about that on Men's Group Monday on Patreon last night. In Proverbs 28, I believe it says that a man will transgress for a slice of bread.
You said something about that over a year ago, I think.
Yeah. And that a man will break the law, will sin, will transgress for a slice of bread. No, sir, no thank you, not interested. Like, I don't ever want to be in such a dire situation that I'm like, I'm going to purposefully go sin for a slice of bread. And like, what sin? Stealing? Murdering? For bread? No.
Running over your dog. And
Praise the Father, no. Like, we're not doing that. And that, interestingly, is, a lot of people like to give us guff because they don't understand how we believe, and that's okay. It's not your job to understand how I believe because it's a conviction, right? I don't need validation from 800 and something people. But it's great to know that we will not transgress because of a slice of bread. And because our conviction is to never be in a position where we have to transgress for a slice of bread, we've taken precautions. We've stockpiled per our convictions, and not just for us, but to be a blessing to those around us as well. The people around us are in a great position because we're near them, and we're in a great position because they're near us. Who'd have thought? Like, we're better than we could have been had we not taken this action, had we not followed these convictions. So,
There's some yotes back there.
some yotes back there. Well, when they get closer than back there, it'll be time. We'll have live yote slaying on YouTube, guaranteed to demonetize. So
This video is probably already.
we've been flashing ARs, drinking rye, and talking about the Bible, so it's already demonetized. It's no biggie. No biggie.
That's why I go with just half of it and not all of it.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
They asked.
Why does Renee want us to message me? Yeah.
What's your
Whoa,
Oh,
kid.
look at that thing.
That's a
That's
beetle.
A beetle.
what's your Patreon?
Can't even shoot a beetle bug with that thing.
What's your Patreon?
Yankee Survival
Yankee Survival?
You're not Yankee.
on Patreon. And there's a YouTube channel with that too. I'm very, very busy. Haven't really been shooting a lot of content recently, but it will be coming.
That will change.
That will change.
We had a talk.
Yes. stuff is gonna start happening. So yeah, you
Shay.
Yankee Survival on YouTube and Yankee Survival at Patreon. $1 a month gets you the intro tier, and then I think there's like a 3, a 5, and a 10. I haven't put anything into the 5 or the 10, so don't do that, please. I'm actually not charging any cost right now on Patreon for April and May. I'm not
Right,
doing
you're
that
on
right
hiatus.
now. Yeah, I'm on hiatus. Right
Yeah,
now.
M. Grimes, we get it, bro. We're going to get there in a hot minute. Simmer down. Jeez. Oh, my gosh.
I've done answered, like, several people have asked.
I know. Hey, it's the baby. Do you think we would even get close to martial law in the United States? Paul, I don't think that we'll get... So listen, what we have right now is a state of emergency, which is basic. Biddy Boo, we got to talk. We'll talk about that in a hot minute. Jack Watts, bless you. And who did the what? Buy some extra double stuffed Oreos. Chasing Life, bless you. Thank you. Trans Am Trucking. Look at all them bugs, kiddo.
Toddler
Anthony, shalom. Follower of the way, read Acts 24, verse 14. I believe firmly in the Torah and the prophets of my fathers, and paraphrasing, the expectation of the resurrection, both the righteous and the unrighteous, through Yeshua Messiah. And in this, I have a clear conscience towards men and Elohim always. 1 Peter 2, verse 21, for this you were called, that you would follow in the footsteps of Messiah, for in him there was no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. That being reviled, he did not revile. That being hated, he did not hate. That he died for your sins upon the cross, the sins that you were dead to, so that you would live unto righteousness. Luke 1, verse 6, what is righteousness? Righteousness is walking blamelessly in all the commands of Yahuwah, your Elohim, the Lord your God. Revelation 12:17, the remnant of the church will be those that have a testimony of Yeshua Messiah and keep the commandments. A law forever throughout your generations. Malachi 3:6, I change not. I am the Lord Yahuwah Sabaoth, I change not. The Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the same yesterday, today, and forever. I believe firmly. I mean, think about the transfiguration of Messiah. Who's he standing with? He's standing with Moses and Elijah. You have the embodiment of the Torah, the prophets, and the resurrection. Matthew 5:17, Messiah says, I came not to destroy the Torah or the prophets, but to fulfill, but to complete them. The word is pleira'u. It means to like completely embody it, to be it. Because truly, truly, I say unto you, until heaven and earth passes away, not one jot, not one tittle of the Torah shall pass away till all be done. Till heaven and earth pass away. Well, heavens, I've not been there, but earth is still here. Right? And then what about Matthew 7:21 through 24? Truly, truly, I say unto you that many shall say to me in that day, Master, have we not prophesied in your name and cast out demons in your name and done many mighty works in your name? And I will say to you, depart from me, you who work lawlessness, for I never knew you. Those that hear these words of mine and do them shall be like he who built his house upon the rock. James 3, be not just hearers of the word, but doers also. And so by grace through faith we are saved, but we do the commands to the best of our broken ability because we're told to do them, a law forever throughout our generations. And on and on and on and on and on. Acts 15. Hey, you step away from there. You're going to fall off the porch. Acts 15. We have Gentile believers in Messiah who are coming to the way, who are coming to Jesus, to Yeshua. And they say, hey, what should we do with these heathen Gentiles who believe in Messiah? And they say, oh, simple. We've come to a conclusion. Don't worry about circumcision because you can circumcise your heart, but you should abstain from whoring, from idolatry, from strangulation, and from blood. And you should go to the temple on the Sabbath and hear the words of Moshe, of Moses. Okay, roger that. John 14:15, if you love me, keep my commandments. My doctrine is not my own, but the one of he who sent me. So forth and so on. And so we eat clean, Leviticus 11. We keep the Leviticus 23 feasts, a law forever throughout your generations. We wear the zitziot, which is Numbers 15, verse 37. You will wear these zitziot, the tassels, For I am Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim to be your Elohim. You will wear these so that you will remember and do all the commands of Yah and not go after the whoring of your own eyes. I am Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. I am Yahweh your Elohim. He kind of foot stomps that one. And we keep the Sabbath. It's the only command of the 10 commands that says remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. And so we do. Holy means sanctified, which means set apart. The Sabbath is a covenant between the Father and his people. And you're commanded to do no work, nor does anybody work for you, and you are supposed to rest. And we also use that time, that 1 day per week, to come closer to the Father, to spend time in his word, to pray, to study our Bibles. Oftentimes I fast just to seek greater spiritual understanding and fulfillment. And so everything that we do is based upon the Bible. It's fully the Bible. And so I realize I just threw a cajillion verses at you, but there's a really, I think, a good video that I shot called Walking in Torah during this past Sukkot. Just look up Walking in Torah on Bear Independent, and I go through the Old Testament command, the teaching of Yeshua, of Jesus the Christ on that command, the early church observation of those commands, and then the end times observation of those commands. So there you go. That's what I do. Thank you for asking 16 times in capitals. Okay. Yay. I got them all. Praise Yah. Praise Yah indeed. I'm sorry, it's just sometimes, Mark Chase, bless you. No, you can rewatch the video. What does the Bible mean when it speaks of the Holy Spirit? The Ruach HaKodesh, the set-apart Spirit, the Spirit of grace, the Comforter that you will that was received in the day of Pentecost, 50 days after. Yeah. So, anywho, yeah. Next question. Por favor. No, Charles, he doesn't say that at all. And this is not going to be that video, but Hebrews, if you want to talk about the renewed covenant, you need to read Hebrews 6 through Hebrews 12. It literally says that Hebrews 6, we have a mediator between us and the Father, who is Yeshua Messiah. And Hebrews 8:8, that there is a renewed covenant between the Father and Israel, which literally means, Israel literally means he who is overcome with Elohim. In Hebrews 8:10, our half of the bargain is that his laws are going to be on our mind and written on our hearts. And that 8:12, the Father will remember our sins and our lawlessness no more. So there you go. That's literally what the renewed covenant in the New Testament in Hebrews 8:6 through 8:12 says. Literally, our half of the bargain, our half of the covenant, the agreement between two or more parties, is that Jesus is the intercessor, the mediator in between us and Father God, and that in order for us to be his people and he to be our Elohim, his laws will be on our mind and written on our hearts. And the reason they're written on our hearts is because you can't set it down and walk away from it and call it complete when it's on your heart. And if that's the case, why does it say in Revelation 12:17 that the remnant of the church will be those who have a testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach, of Jesus the Christ, and keep the commands? Now, that all being said, these are my convictions. It's not my job to write my convictions on your heart. However, I think that there's been a lot of really bad, inaccurate, irresponsible teaching in the Christian church around all of that, and the concept that, Corinthians 2:14, the law was nailed to the cross, is bullshizer, because the word for the law is chirographon, which means your death sentence under the law. The death that you deserve under the law was done away with Yeshua, not the law itself. Because if Yeshua came to do away with the law, then that would contradict 1 Peter 2:21, meaning that no deceit was found in his mouth, meaning that he would not have been the Messiah in the first place. Okay? And he's the Messiah he is the Mashiach. He is the Christ. And so he couldn't have taught anything but a return to the Father. So with that, I'm going to shut up now because it's not my job to badger you into submission. It's my job to open the door to your heart and stick my toe in so the Ruach HaKodesh can get in there and do what he does. Okay? Okay. So, yeah, that. Overall living. Shalom, brother. Not one jot, not one tittle. Dutchess County. Oh my gosh, run.
Yeah, super.
Who's the super?
I don't know. Whoever did that.
Oh.
And that.
Oh.
Look at that.
John Gahanimi. Yeah, John, bless you, brother. Matthew Gardner, I did not see your previous comment, but prayers, Roger. Sarah, Bear, can you co-lead a women's group with Hami? Sarah, we have been asked that so many times, and my wife doesn't know where she would find the time. Steel hauling, bless you. She does not know where she would find the time. And my wife is not as comfortable as I am with bringing the word per se. It's something that we can discuss. It's something that we have discussed many times. But she and I are different people. You want to lead a women's group Bible study? Yeah, see? So, Renee, there you go. Hey, Renee, let's talk about that some more the next time we talk. I like your friend's olive hoodie. There you go.
Thank you. You
You're
guys
welcome.
can go to Threat Assessment and Tactical Solutions in Stroudsburg when Pennsylvania isn't in complete lockdown, and you could go and get some force-on-force training and get one of these sweet hoodies. Super comfy.
M. Grinds, Roger. Wish to know more. Hey, listen, man, we have playlists starting in Genesis 1:1 and Matthew 1:1 at this channel. You can follow along with that. If you need a copy of the Bible, of the scriptures, email me. And I'm happy to send you a copy. There's other great channels. There's many, many great channels. Shofar Mountain on YouTube. 119 Ministries. New, the number 2. Torah. Following Yeshua. There's a lot of really good, strong brothers out there who are simply reading their Bible and doing what it says. Reading their Bible and doing what it says. So, Jack Watts. Overall living, bless you, brother. Are women allowed to lead studies, though? Thought that the husbands, male religious leaders, who are they leading studies with? I think it's perfectly fine for women to study amongst themselves. And honestly, in groups of men and women, I've received a lot of really good clarification on the word from women. Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard somebody make the comment where they're not comfortable teaching the word to a brother's wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and I completely understand that, and I wouldn't want to do that either because you're not my wife. I'm not the ruler over your household. I am not going to be the one that I don't want to be accused of leading astray.
Yeah, there's a headship issue there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
you know, I don't see an issue with women studying the word amongst themselves. But again,
or as a body of
or
Christ.
I feel. Yeah.
Where we're all on the same level. I think where it has the potential to be abused is when you have the woman over the man. And even then, even saying that in today's society is like pseudo cringeworthy, right? Because I feel like that phrase that I just said doesn't fully articulate what I'm trying to say. There, as you said, there's a headship issue. And there are some, Sister Kate Shofar Mountain. Love her videos. I get a lot of clarification on the word from those videos. And she's Sister Kate.
I follow
right?
her.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's awesome. I love SK. And so I think it's where the mantle of responsibility falls, because I've been in churches that have had female pastors, I guess is what don't even remember what they were called, female leaders, and it was
Priestess?
I don't know, but it was a strange vibe, at least for me, and I'll say for me, very common, very similar to the vibe I've gotten from being in churches led by polo-wearing beta males. And I'm like, you don't quite get it. Like, one of my favorite stories about Yeshua is braiding whips and flipping tables.
Oh,
right?
like when I first got here.
You got your table flipped?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I got more than just a table flipped when I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun 3 days.
It's the best. It's tremendous, believe me. Well, and hey, here's another example. Think about following Yeshua and the sisters that follow in Yeshua. They're teaching just through their actions on that channel, right? I mean, they're doing a great job. So it's a question of authority and headship, and where does that land? And then I think it's a personal question of comfortability with that authority and headship. I don't know, Knights. Somewhere. He got it from somewhere.
You guys can find this hoodie as well as John Dapper, the double tapper t-shirts.
Nice.
Which are super, super soft and super, super comfortable at Threat Assessment and Tactical Solutions in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. That's also a force-on-force training facility where they use simunition
Mark
inside
Chase.
of a
Amen.
real action scenario shoot house where you can actually go through your home defense plan for real. And they have a website, and I believe that is tatstraining.com. That's going to be Tango Alpha Tango Sierra training.com.
Nice.
Go check those guys out. Tell them Rod sent you, and go get the best training that you can on the planet. But I don't think they're non-essential right now per the governor's the governor overlord of Pennsylvania's orders. So, you're going to have to wait a little bit. But when the world is done losing its mind, you should go get some training, because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are like, man, I really wish I would have got some training in case I have to do the things with this thing that I bought that I don't know how to use.
Which button do I press on here?
Is that
Is
the
this
bullet
one?
button?
Oh no, what happened? I'm just gonna throw it at him. Get out of here, bad guy.
Muzzle thumps are the best.
I muzzle thumped Coco the other day. I was like, you're in my bubble. Get out of my bubble. Right between the eyeballs.
Between the eyeballs.
The eyeballs. I would like to meet Bear and show him proof I'm in the medical field. Well, if you're in the medical field
come on mission, bro.
if you're in the medical field right now,
You're
thanks
busy.
but no thanks. Can't see you right now because you're probably tainted, and
You're unclean
and
with COVID.
the best way, the only way to meet me currently is to come on mission. And it really needs to be said, do not come on mission because I'm there. Do not come on mission because I'm there. You come on mission because the Father thumps you in the middle of the chest and says, hey, I need you to go serve my kingdom. Not because Bear's there, okay? I think it has to be stated over and over and over again.
You're too busy on mission to just be there.
Not only
You
that,
have a whole bunch of stuff that you need to take care of when the mission is happening.
yes, and not only that, people should not drive all the way across the country because I'm there. Do not put me on that pedestal. Do not put that on me. These shoulders are not built for that. What we do out of a sense of deep and abiding conviction and faith in the Father. And so to the extent that he moves you to be in service to his kingdom, and you use Grindstone Ministries as a vehicle to do that, then yeah, if you want to hang out with me, come see me on mission. But don't just come on mission to hang out with Bear, because Bear has a lot going on. And it's an honor to me to meet people who, drive all over the place. You drove from Pennsylvania to Florida. We had a guy that drove from Alaska to Florida. We have routinely people from all over the country. And so
Nothing but a Jeep
if,
filled with toilet
that's
paper.
right. And so if you want to come on mission, just go to grindstoneministries.com and sign up for the mission email blast. The only thing that we send out on that missions email blast is mission stuff. And we treat it like a mission. There's a mission profile. There's, you know,
How long is everyone being ordered to stay in place?
Alexi,
Don't know.
depends on where you live. And so, yeah, man, come see me, but not because I'm there. Come see me because you are moved unequivocally to serve the Father's kingdom. Because I can tell you this, everybody else there is too. And it is humbling as hell to look around and see the badasses that the Father has assembled to do the work that he has assigned us for his kingdom. And real awesome, honest to God, wonderful work gets done. Double tapping hillbilly, bless you, brother. So, yeah, come see me, but not 'cause I'm there. So, it is awesome. Bless you. What does Nick need? What's up, Nick? What's going on?
SKS rifle. If you live in the United States, stick with an AR. That's all I'm gonna say.
Logan, copy. Yeah, what's up, Nick? What's up? You too as well, double tapping hillbilly. Best three things to plant for survival in the garden: corn, beans, and squash. Three Sisters method. Local American, bless you, man. Bless you. 308 or 556. 5.5 millimeter, 5.56 millimeter NATO. Here's why. Hey, can I borrow that a minute?
Hey, bro. Here you go.
Thanks, man.
Cool.
Okay, thanks. That's why.
All right, here you can have your.
Okay.
You can have yours.
Those are my fancy bullets.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
These are my FMJs that are just super cheap and they work.
Yeah. That's
They're brass. They're not steel. Relax.
good night, Vicky. Shalom, sister. So, yeah, that's why. Now, does it mean that we don't have 308 systems? We most definitely do.
Go up.
What am I doing?
Somebody said they weren't feeling well.
I'm feeling very sick. Please say a prayer for me. Too many people depending on me to take care of them. Going to bed. Mrs. Hermit Hill. Father, Yah, bless Mrs. Hermit Hill. Let her feel better. Father, make your will manifested in her life and heal her up so that she can be a strength in her home. Father, be indwelt in her and just heal her. We ask these things in Yeshua's name. Amen.
Amen.
So, yeah, we have 308 on the homestead, but we don't carry 308.
308 rifles are heavy
Yeah.
if they have capacity, and I like capacity,
Yeah.
efficiency.
Yep.
Go
Yep.
ahead and carry a 14-pound stick for 10 miles and tell me how fun it is.
Yeah, and it's the best, right? It's like, hey, I'm going to carry 10, 20-round magazines as well. I'm like, cool, man, you got 15 pounds in ammo,
I'd rather just carry a 240 again.
right?
Like, if I'm going to
Yeah.
carry that much weight, it might as well be worth the fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Victory through overwhelming and superior firepower. Accuracy through volume.
Ever ran AR-15 mags, local gun store for them for half the cost of PMags. Ever ran Black Rain AR-15 mags. Have you ever run Black Rain?
No.
Me either.
Okay, sure feed, man.
Yeah?
Brant, you can get 10 for $99. There's a discount code from a guy who likes to wear flannel.
Yep.
And yeah, you can use that
Yeah.
on Gun Mag Warehouse.
Flannel
if
Daddy?
they have any, but they're kind of like, don't get the E2s, just get the first gens. The little bumps that they put, it's gonna tear your gear up, man. Like, yeah, learn that the hard
Stippling?
way. Yeah, don't stipple aluminum mags. That's dumb. I've actually seen it. It's terrible. Don't do that. The guy just had a chisel and a hammer. It was just like, dunk, dunk, dunk. I'm like, what are you doing? I need all the grip, bro. And I'm like, just don't grab it like a child. Grab it like a man.
Yeah,
Like,
use these. Like, if you can't grab this and squeeze it to where you can feel it deforming in your hand, you need to get some of those, like, grip trainer things or something.
steel is too hard. It hurts my hand.
It's almost like there's a guy on the internet that looks kind of like this that has a video called Harden Your Hands.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So, Stormtrooper, shalom. Do you reload? Never. I shoot one magazine and then I throw the gun on the ground and run away. I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. So,
I shoot 2 rounds out of my magazine, throw the gun and grab a different gun, and then reload the same mag in the different gun.
that's what I do.
Special reload, limited.
French military surplus rifles, never fired and only dropped once. Yeah.
What was the Russian way? One man gets ammo and rifle. Second man gets ammo. When first man with rifle goes down, the second man picks up rifle.
Rifle.
Like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great. This is gonna go so well for us.
That's funny.
Oh,
Well, and in a lot of instances, and this is perhaps something worth talking about, Mr. Tactical Firearms Instructor.
oh boy. There are a lot of guys better than me that are out there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm definitely a step above Voda.
I
At
don't
least
know.
Voda.
That Voda guy's pretty damn good.
Dude, he's like
I mean,
the best.
just from an entertainment standpoint. But okay,
It's like people give this guy money. What?
the internet is a thing, bro.
I'm gonna stab this paper target and then almost shoot off my hand and then stab this paper target again and then get even closer to shooting off my hand.
Oh my
hey,
gosh.
and if you get pulled over, I'm gonna pull my gun out.
Yeah.
So I catch a 9mm through the back of my skull because the cop thought I was drawing down on him.
Oh, is he dead?
I don't know. I really hope
Did he
he's
get
not
shot?
I don't know. I really hope he's not teaching anymore. But that's what he was teaching. He
Okay.
was like, pull it out and then unload it and unchamber it and set it down on your dash. It's like, bro, no, it's called 10 and 2.
Yeah.
And don't do anything unless you're told to do something.
That's right.
You don't fight the police on the streets. You do it in court.
Okay, but I digress.
Yeah.
Many times, circumstantial, but many times, your fastest reload is a transition. So, but it depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to make body shots at 100, maybe your Glock's not the best way for you to go about doing that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna CQB, man, and boy, there's a lot of like, people are like, I'm gonna build this $2,700 rifle, then I'm gonna put a $1,500 PEC 15 on the end of it and an IR, blah 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 blah, and then I'm gonna get some nods so that I can clear my house at 3 o'clock in the morning when there's a bump in the night. I don't know, bro.
At plus or minus medium range, my handgun is to get me to cover.
Right. So what I was going to ask you, Mr. Tactical Guy,
Oh boy.
is do you think, let's say we're at a medium range, let's say we're at 15 yards,
Okay.
okay, and we're actively involved in an altercation. We have a rifle. The rifle runs dry
At 15 yards.
at 15 yards.
I feel better if it was a malfunction.
Okay, we'll say it was
At 15 yards with a rifle, if you are empty, you're stupid because you either didn't give yourself a new mag when you should have,
right.
or you just really suck.
We got into a fight we shouldn't have been in the first place.
Like,
Okay.
are you shooting at a
Okay.
mosquito?
We'll say that we get a stovepipe and it's bad and we can't clear it.
Tap rack bang did not work.
Right. So, or whatever.
Yeah.
Should we transition to the pistol or reload the rifle?
If you're in the middle of a gunfight and it's close range, like you said, 15 yards, and this is my opinion.
Because you know
If
there's
you're-
going to be 50% of people going to be
If
like,
I
you're wrong.
pull the trigger at somebody because I'm in a situation that warrants it, and they're 15 yards away, and I get a click instead of a bang, I'm not going to sit there for the second and a half, 2 seconds that it takes for me to grab a new mag and insert and then send the bolt forward or
Right.
clear the round
Like-
out. I'm going to grab whatever I have on my side or on my drop leg or appendix or whatever, and I'm going to keep sending down lead, get to a position of cover if I didn't neutralize the threat with the sidearm, and then clear the problem.
And then clear the malfunction.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much
But
what I
I'm
would
not.
think.
But I am not clearing the problem until I am in a position where I know I have the time to deal with this malfunction.
Agreed. Yep. Awesome.
The pistol
That's
is to
just
fight your way to the rifle that you
Bear
should have had in the
tribe.
first place, or to cover.
No, it's Bear Clan. What kind of whiskey
Ram
tonight? Shut up. You're like Bram Clan right now.
Bram Clan.
You're in an
It's
abomination.
2020, okay? I'm allowed to be confused.
Third bathroom. Templeton 4-year. Oh, the light is so bright.
It's amazing.
It is. This is Templeton 4-year Iowa rye, and it's delicious.
It's good.
And Tony John, Bear Clan. That's right, overall living. Shooting sideways makes the bullets
There's
go
about to be a
faster.
YouTube war of Ram versus Bear clans.
Yeah, well, they can try. So,
I don't have. I'm at like
yeah.
percentages of points, point something. But you got
Bear Clan Nation. That's exactly right. We have our own nation. Do you use a reloading machine to create new freedom seeds from used brass?
I don't reload, man. I don't have the time.
I don't
and I don't
either.
have the money to invest into it either. And seriously, I don't even. We might be shooting yotes here. soon.
Yotes.
They smell that new. That
David,
new
bless
lamb.
you.
They're in that field.
Yeah, they are.
We'll go off camera, and you guys will just hear
They're
a lot
in-
of loud noise.
They're in the neighbor's middle field. They're at the edge of the middle field to the first field.
I feel like
It's
I should
okay.
be Overwatch there one night.
I've
With
really
some thermal,
okay.
but I don't have. I need the money for thermal.
There's some equip in the barn that we can talk about later, off camera.
You're
getting
thinking
closer.
About a dozen.
Yeah,
Because I'm hearing some. They sound like they're gapped.
yeah.
Yotes.
So reloading. So here's the thing.
If you shoot a lot and you have a lot of money, go for it, man.
Overall living, come on, bro. Come out and let's just do it. Let's just do it. Bring your fam. We'll set you up. We'll only quarantine you for 48 days. It'll be fine. We're going to hang out. We'll make a stick hut here. It's going to be wonderful.
Put you in a yurt.
So, put in a yurt. Yeah, we could build you a log cabin. So, what are the colors of the Bear Clan tartan? Black, OD green, and FDE. Those are our colors. Mostly FDE. So, as back to reloads, I don't reload. I know a lot of people that do, but I don't. And for the same reason Yankee said, I don't have the time, man. I know, and I know that there's a. See, that's the thing. You reach a pivot point where you're in the black. You've made enough brass. You made enough ammo, like finished cartridges, that you are now saving money.
No.
I'm not there, man. I just don't have time.
If you like own like a range and you do like training classes or something, like I can understand your range reloading ammo to save company cost because it's your ammo that you're providing in insurance. But I mean, man, unless you're getting like 10,000 rounds in a year, it really doesn't cost benefit at all. Like,
And
I knew a guy who had 20 55-gallon
Jack
drums
Watts,
of
amen.
nothing but brass.
Wow.
And it sat there for decades because he's like, oh, I'm going to reload it, and never had time. For like 20 years, he
Yep.
never found time to reload one round.
Yankee Survival is the name of his channel, right?
Yes.
Yes, Yankee Survival. And
13 stars, Gadsden, Uncle Sam stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
and YouTube and Patreon. So, here's the thing. Like, I got nothing against reloading.
Nope.
I just don't have time to do it.
You could, if you're like a guy that's doing like long range matches and like super marksmanship stuff, dude. If you want to make your own ammo for
Yeah,
that,
hand
like,
loads, yep.
yeah, like, hey, 77 grain does great. You know what I mean? 71 grain doesn't do as great, but I think I could get better. Then play around with that. But I mean, you're putting thousands of dollars worth of equipment to do that. But if you're making money and getting sponsorships from winning competitions and
Yep.
stuff, by all means, man. I don't have the time nor the interest to reload.
Well,
I'd rather just buy it, and it's like, cool. I have rounds that were made by people that know a lot more about making ammo than I do.
so, and check this out. Before you came here, this is a good question. Before you came here, talk about the difference of perception versus reality of utilization of time on a homestead.
Oh, dude, it's insane.
So,
It's insane. I got here knowing the situation that I was going to be in, and I was expecting it. When I left, I didn't quite expect it to be under the circumstance that it turned into, which was literally like hours. Like hours after I left Pennsylvania, the state got its first case, which was in the county that neighbored where I lived by a quarter mile.
Right.
And then the next day, there was the second confirmed case in the state was in my home county. So my move turned into more of a bug out with only what I could fit in my Jeep. Literally, a Jeep Wrangler, whatever I could fit in it, that's all I was taking. No trailer. They were getting price gouged.
Yep.
I couldn't find trailers because I think other people were snagging them up to load up for leaving. And like the amount of stuff that we were doing the entire week after I recovered from the G20 flu.
yep.
What? Like, it was just non-stop, man. Like, wake up, drink coffee, go work, have lunch, go work more, stop, have dinner, rest, wake up, do it again. And it's just like, man, I was looking so forward to Shabbat that Friday night that
Amen.
I, like, after I moved a stupid amount of stuff that I'm not going to talk about, I walked into the house and just laid down on the floor when it was Shabbat, and I was like, thank Yah, it's Shabbat. I don't have to work right now. Like, it's busy, man. I don't have the time for that. Like, I don't have the time to really train because we have projects. It's like, it's 110% go time right now, man. Like,
We were gonna ruck this morning, and it's like, okay, yeah, let's. Oh, wait a minute! Like all this other stuff happened, and it's now. What time is it? 9.
I don't even know.
It's got to be
on my
past
watch.
9 o'clock right now, Central. And here we're not gonna go ruck right now, and I mean we could, but we're not gonna.
It'd be more like a patrol pace, though. It's dark. I don't want to trip on something and break my leg and have to go to the hospital because I'm not going to a hospital.
We
right
even
now.
did some of that earlier.
Like,
And so
it's crazy, man.
the perception versus reality on utilization of time on a homestead, especially when you're constantly improving and you're trying to get spun up, are two wildly different things.
Yeah.
It's not like this place was functional and we just moved in here. It's like, you want fence, make fence. You want gardens, make garden. You want electricity over there, make electricity.
oh, you
want
to add another half an acre for your sheep?
Yep.
Got that done in a day.
Oh, you want sheep. You want sheep.
You want to get fencing.
Yeah. How are you gonna get them here?
Yeah.
How much do they cost?
Are you going to pay people to build a fence or do it yourself?
Where are you gonna get them from? What is their bloodline? Are they Katahdins or are they Dorpers? Or are they both? Or are they neither? Do they need to be sheared? When was the last time they were wormed? Are they males or are they females? Are they intact or are they not? Have they been banded? Is this one pregnant? Is it not pregnant? Does she drop singles, twins, or triplets? But just blah 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 blah. Just on the sheep.
We were up until how late last night because of a sheep was going, meh.
I went to bed. I went to bed at 11:44, which is 2 hours and 44 minutes past Bear's bedtime, because Bear gets up at 5 a.m. And so I got nothing against reloading, as long as somebody else is doing it for me. And the thousands of dollars that I would put into reloading ammo, I think tinfoil hat asked. Yeah, but what happens when there's no more ammo in SHTF?
Baby sheep don't show up on their time, man. It's your time.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
so-
have to do the things and be diligent, and you have responsibilities. Like, baby sheep's being born at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Gotta go deal with that. Like, it's crazy.
And what happens when there's no more ammo in SHTF? I'll tell you truthfully,
Have enough that you don't run out.
the same thing that when people are like, well, y'all people who keep Torah, I know when the world ends, you're going to be eating bacon. No, I'm not.
No.
Because I have done everything in my power to make sure that that doesn't even cross my mind. It's not happening. I'm not doing it.
Hey, man, when I starve
so-
to death, I'm going to look at Yeshua and be like, hey, bro,
Did it,
about eating the pork right before I starved to death, but because it was pork, I got some kind of parasite, and
Trichinosis
then
or
that killed
something,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, like, my bad, and he's going to be like, yeah, you're bad.
yeah.
Yeah, because that matters.
Because, nobody reads Hebrews 10:26.
Yeah. You don't eat pork. It's not food.
It's
It's literally
not-
said, don't eat this. It's not food.
It's an
Like,
abomination.
yeah,
It's the only
it's
thing you can-
unclean to you.
it's
It's not
the
food. Stop
only
eating
thing-
things that are not food. That's how we got the kung flu.
Yeah, yeah. Bats ain't food. It's the only thing you can receive skin grafts from and receive a heart transplant from.
Tattoo artists
And
practice
tat-
doing tattoos
we're-
on pigs.
We're too close to them. It's not food. But anyway, it's the same thing. What happens when you run out of ammo in SHTF? Don't run out of ammo.
You shouldn't
and
be in situations where you run out to begin with. Like, dude,
we
is
talked
it,
about this earlier
are you
today.
storming the Omaha beach? Like, what do you need 30,000 rounds for yourself? Do you plan on going through 30,000 rounds of battles, worth of battles by yourself or with your 4-man fire team and walking out at the end of that? Like, unscathed, like, no holes that didn't exist prior to the brown stuff hitting the fan and going into everybody's eyes and mouth because they didn't see it coming. Like, you're not gonna live long enough to run out of ammo. You're not going to live long enough to run out of ammo unless you're like trading it for food because you realize that food is more important than bullets because you can't eat bullets.
Which all
Well,
comes back to...
That's perspective
Yeah.
if you could eat bullets or
Which
not. But,
all comes back to you should have the training to use your weapons platform so you can get it done with a round or two, not 28 rounds.
I don't ever want to have to go kick indoors.
Me either.
I don't want to have to do that. If I could deal with it from a distance, from a place that you didn't see, from a spot that you didn't hear,
Yep.
that's the preferred method. And I don't like wasting rounds, and I don't like missing my mark because that annoys me.
And yeah.
I never dropped a shot at 500 out of the black on qual day.
So-
and I don't plan on doing it in real life either.
So, I don't intend to run out of ammo. And if I do run out of ammo,
Tactical tomahawk.
tactical tomahawk. So,
But not like those Black Hawk ones because they rust and they're trash.
yeah, see, Nick's going to trade some ammo for a beef cow. Exactly.
Yes. Ammo important, food importanter. But have enough ammo to protect the food. Potatoes.
Oh, man.
Fencing's important. What happens if you have a tree fall on your fencing?
Right?
Stuff like that, man. And which I would be really upset because that was a full day's worth of work. And if a tree fell on that fencing, I'd be like, all right, let's fix that.
It's but again, like, good thing we know tree guys
Yeah.
and fencing guys and everything else. Yeah, McMikey, he did. I haven't actually watched that yet because, again, and see, this is something that we should talk about as well. It's something that you and I talked about recently.
Ginger Beast, exactly. All the crayons for
All
your
of them.
Marine buddies. Because if you can't feed your Marine buddies, they will turn on you.
Rod, Delta, Romeo, Oscar,
It's
Delta.
not Rob. It's not Ron. It's Rod. I get that. People get that wrong all the time. I literally had a shirt with my name on it, and they were not calling me by my name. Like, hi, my name is Instructor Rod, and I'm going to be making sure that you don't shoot yourself today because you don't know what you're doing. And they're like, oh, nice to meet you, Ron. Oh, if I was able to slap people, I wish I could have. But I was meek. I didn't do it.
Good job.
I wanted to, but I didn't.
Good job.
So,
Good jab. Good jab. Michael, I cannot answer that question on this platform. No. I'm sorry. Hello from not London. Shalom. Plate. I have 3+ and I have level 4, and I like level 4 cause things.
30-06 is pretty popular out here.
That's another thing too, man. It's like deer rifles matter. Like, it's a threat to consider.
Hey man, your AR-15 can go out to 650 yards on an area target vehicle. My 30-06 can go out past 1200 on a deer.
Right.
Like, okay.
Jim Nichols, buy a longsword and spear and learn to use them. Jim, with all due respect, if you come down my driveway with a effing longsword
And a spear.
guess which of us is gonna win? That's all I'm gonna say, bro. And this is one of multiple weapons that were lost in a tragic boating accident.
How about a bow and arrows?
Yeah.
Just saying, it's quiet. You can make arrows, and you can make the string for the bow, or you can buy extra. Just saying.
I don't know, man. Now listen.
Compound bows are cool. And they're quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you run out of ammo, grab your bow.
But I am not assaulting an effing position with a compound bow.
No.
Or a broadsword or a spear. There's no you can't fix bayonets to the compound bow. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine?
We're gonna need
That would
more
be
duct tape,
awesome.
sir. We're gonna need more duct tape. This is not working.
I'm gonna stab you with this bayonet, draw back and release. No, you just stab them with your arrow, bro.
Curb creeper, shalom. Oh man. Listen, Punji sticks at the perimeter. Yeah, Roger.
I'm just gonna grab my old guide on with the pike and just start running.
What in the Hunger Games are y'all talking about?
Tactical Tuesday
Oh,
just
man.
got more tactical.
It's uber tactical. Now with extra tactical.
Am I gonna have to have like a guest appearance on the first We the People Wednesday in like 2 months?
You know what? Honestly, y'all should go sub to Yankee Survival, because tomorrow is We the People Wednesday, and he might have a guest.
Might.
I'm just saying.
I'm a hit or a miss right now, but that's fixing the change.
I just know where you're gonna be live streaming from, so I think it's
If
safe
I get
to
a
say.
Wi-Fi password.
Tia, shalom, sister. You know what? Ask Cheyenne. She knows the Wi-Fi password. I don't know what the hell it is.
I don't know either.
Dindo, you're talking to 2 of them, homie. We're trustworthy, okay? Patreon just increased. Bless you, sister.
All the lols.
Oh, man.
Curb Creeper, awesome.
Gunmeister.
This dude is awesome.
Huh? What did Curb Creeper say?
He said that he's glad that he found the channel.
Oh,
or
well.
she, I don't know.
Likewise. Thank you for being here. Honestly, it blows my mind that there's 70-some thousand people that are like, hey, I got to see what Bear says about this thing.
I miss it too, man. I saw that, and yeah, I need to get back into the ring of things, because it was just moving and being in Babylon and all this other BS, and it's just like, I got more important stuff to worry about right now. So, but
You know, Daniel, I will pray, and then we're going to put a bow on this thing. It's going to be bedtime.
Because it's been almost an hour or 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Yeah, we've been doing the things, man. You ready? Father Yah, thank you for the opportunity to just come before you. Father, thank you for being sovereign over all things, including uncertainty in this world. Yah, we know that you've given dominion of this place over for a time, and things are scary. Things are uncertain, and in the last couple of weeks, our perspectives have changed. We've went from thinking that we knew what the hell was going on to knowing that we clearly don't. And so, Father, thank you for the reminder that we don't drive the bus, we're just along for the ride. Father, there is a lot of people who are feeling angst and anxiety in this time of uncertainty. There's a lot of people that don't know what's going on. So, Father, I pray that you just put your hand on them. Father, I pray that you'd send your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, to minister to each one of us, and that you would encourage us with our giftings and our talents and our delights to be in service to you, that you would make it clear how it is that we should move forward to introduce people to you, to evangelize, to be the city on the hill, to be the light that we're not to put under a basket, Father. That people would look at us and go, I don't know what they have, but I want some of it. Where do I get some of that? Father, that you would create opportunities for personal growth and for spiritual growth and for growth for the kingdom in this uncertain time, and that we would just remember it's not our way, but it's Yahweh. It's you. You are sovereign over all things, including everything that's going on right now in this world, and that it's ordained, it's for a time, that we were fearfully and wonderfully made for this time, even if we don't quite understand why. But it's no coincidence, it's no accident that we're here. And so for those of us that do know why we are here, that you would create opportunities for us to lean into our calling, to lean into our gifting. For those of us that are uncertain, that you would make it clear to us what it is that we are supposed to do to put a smile on your face. Father, keep us humble. Keep us reminded of who we are, why we are. Father, thank you for creating an opportunity for busted up POSs like us to serve your kingdom. Thank you for redemption and restoration through Yeshua Messiah. And thank you for trusting us to serve your kingdom. Father, I pray that you be indwelt in us this day, that you would minister to us, that you would just continue to be Yahuwah, our Elohim. We ask all these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, of Jesus the Christ. Amen. Bless y'all. You guys rock. 574 of y'all. Bless y'all.
4 quarters philosophy.
4 quarters philosophy. I'd rather have 4 quarters in my pocket than 100 pennies. We got 570 quarters. I can't even do the math on that right now. 285, $142.50. We got $140.52
In quarters.
worth of folks
I could buy a lot of crayons.
in quarters.
As long as they're kosher.
Kosher. Bless y'all. Shalom. Yankee survival. Yankee survival. Yankee survival. Shalom.